I am making this video following a question by one of my viewers asking how come mobile phones support Dolby Atmos. On my video about the differences between HDMI, optical and auxiliary cable. So let's get started. First, we need to understand what is Dolby Atmos. Atmos is a technology developed by Dolby to improve surround sound system. It was first installed in Dolby Theater in Los Angeles back in 2012. And now we can find Dolby Atmos technology everywhere. So what is the difference between Atmos and a traditional surround sound system such as Dolby Digital? By the way, surround sound system is also called home theater. In Dolby Digital, predecessor to Dolby Atmos, the sound appears to surround the listener by 360 degrees in only one plane, and it has to have a minimum of 3 channels with speakers both in front and side of the listener. So what is a channel? It is basically the number of speakers that could distinguish between 2 or more sounds coming from different directions. This means that the traditional surround sound technology is limited to 5.1 configuration, which means having 5 speakers and 1 subwoofer, or 7.1 configuration, which has 7 speakers and 1 subwoofer. However, with Atmos technology, you could expand this configuration to as many as 400 speakers. But wait a minute. Having a 7.1 configuration might already be unnecessary for a small room. But the difference is, by using Dolby Atmos, you will have the extra speakers on the ceiling rather than the floor, or you could use Dolby Atmos enabled floor standing speakers to direct the sounds upwards to the ceiling and then reflecting it back to the listening position with the same number of speakers as in the traditional 5.1 or 7.1 configuration. With the additional speakers on the ceiling, you could get configurations such as 5.1.2, 5.1.4, 7.1.2, 7.1.4, or even 9.1.4. In this way, you could feel the sounds of helicopters or aeroplanes flying overhead in a more realistic sense, with the sound coming through the ceiling speakers and hence a 3-dimensional experience. Dolby understood that not everyone would want to drill holes onto their ceiling. Hence, it also developed Dolby Atmos height virtualization technology. Using this virtualization technology, you could use your old surround sound system with a special designed AV receiver that is capable of applying filters to the sounds in order to make your ear to perceive the sounds coming from the above. You would need an AV audio video receiver for either Dolby Digital or Dolby Atmos. The AV receivers for the traditional surround sound system won't work for Dolby Atmos. So what is a receiver? It basically takes all the signals from various devices and then redistributes them to various different speakers after processing, amplifying and clarifying the audio and video signals. But you could still use your old speakers. For example, you could convert your 7.1 configuration to Atmos 5.1.2 without buying any new speakers by mounting 2 of your existing speakers to the ceiling. In a nutshell, if you have an existing surround sound system, you could upgrade it to Dolby Atmos by just buying a new receiver and additional speakers for the ceiling. If you don't want to mount speakers to the ceiling, then you will have to buy Atmos capable floor standing speakers to reflect the sounds back through the ceiling. So what makes Atmos so special? It is basically an object-based surround sound format that contains more information about different sounds. The most basic sound format is mono, meaning only 1 channel, then stereo, meaning 2 channels, then Dolby Digital, which supports multiple channels such as 7.1. And now we have Dolby Atmos, which supports up to 400 speakers. plus its virtualization technology. It is this virtualization technology that enables the presence of Atmos in single speakers and devices such as headphones and mobile phones. Back to the original question by the viewer. Yes, you could play Dolby Atmos on any headphones, whether through auxiliary cable or Bluetooth on a Dolby Atmos capable mobile phone. This is because Dolby Atmos for phones is a software-based solution which emulates the 3D audio effect. When recording the sounds, it can be mono or stereo. Then in the post-production, the sound mixer mixes the sounds to give the impression that the different sounds come from different directions and produces it in the Atmos audio format. In summary, just like a 4K video, you need to have an Atmos audio source, for example a film, music or video game with Atmos format, and then Atmos capable device and the correct configuration to get the most of your Dolby Atmos technology. I hope this video was useful. If it was, please don't forget to watch my other videos on my left and to subscribe to support my channel. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.